Beautiful day. Absolutely beautiful. Never rains at the nurseries. Right. It's another day, continuing from the vlog that you'll have seen from the other day. The sun has come out and things are drying up, and I was going to be starting to do some chainsawing. I'm just going to go and see how wet the trees are and to whether that's doable or not. People in the tent survived. The tent was waterproof, so much so they've just booked on for an extra night. Right, now this ground is sodden. Yeah, you can't see. Well, basically I'm going to bring down this whole line of hedging and the one over there, I don't know, 10 foot or something like that, but it's possibly going to be too wet to do, to be honest. Yeah, let's just go over to the camping area. The camera's not going to pick up. It's too wet. I've put the chainsaw down, it's plugged in. Somebody, namely myself, is going to get an electric shock, so that's not going to be good. Duck pond pitch here. Yeah. Right, so some of you will have met Lola the other day. Lola, you are just taking yourself for a walk. You're a super crazy, gorgeous dog. You are relentless, aren't you? Right, I'm going to the front of this moho, and the reason I'm going to the front of this moho is, do you remember me mentioning Cola Cowboy? And you're probably now wondering what on earth is Neil on. Oh, by the way, it never rains here at the nurseries in Mumby in Lincolnshire. Cola Cowboy. So we've had somebody staying with us for a couple of nights, and they've been having some careful, daft dog. You're super crazy. Right, so let me just try and get you on camera. There we are. Cola Cowboy.
Yes.
There's a story behind this, isn't there?
Well, there is, yes, and a lot of say 60s, 70s truck drivers will know the name Cola Cowboy, as it was a thing we used to do. A lot of them used to run all the Middle East, and the nickname Cola Cowboy came because, as you know, truck drivers live like cowboys. Don't mean to say they live on beans, but they live like cowboys.
Tramping.
Yes, and
that's the name for it, isn't it?
Tramping, yeah. So back in the 60s and 70s, you couldn't get in the ports at Saudi Arabia and places like that because the queues of the ships were just ridiculous, so it was quicker to go overland. And these lads all became nicknamed the Cola Cowboy, as you live like a cowboy, and no matter where you go in the world, you will always find a Coca-Cola machine. So, and that's what they did. They put that together, and we all became the Cola Cowboys. There is a book actually about it. It's called the Cola Cowboys. I can't remember now. The book's a really old book. It must be 30, 40 years old now. Also, there's a thing called, BBC did a programme, and it's called The Trip to Doha. Now, I'm sure this is on YouTube.
All right. And
it shows the Astron drivers doing a trip out to, where did they go? Well, they went to Doha, obviously. And the other thing was, how do you spell it? Is it Qatar? Qatar, Qatar.
Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So that's where they used to run out from, and then you used to get a backload back from either the same place, or you come back to Turkey or Greece or wherever and get a load back. So I took the name, the Cola Cowboys, and I had a band in the 80s, and then from the band we went down to a duo because technology was going better and better. Karaoke came out, so we got backing tracks and things like that. And when I ended up going solo as a musician, I called myself the Cola Cowboy.
Excellent.
And I used to do all the stuff from the 60s and 70s, country and western, and 60s stuff, and Beatles and things like that. So, and that's how I carried the name on, Cola Cowboy. So I only meet a few people now that, when they see the sign in the van, unless you're a really oldish truck driver like myself, you know what Cola Cowboy is. So
right.
that's how it all came about. And I've just stuck with it all through. Well, I've been driving trucks now for 45 years.
Goodness me.
And I was a HGV mechanic before that. Used to work for Leyland Daff. So that's how it all came about. So, but I'd look for the trip to Doha because it is a very interesting film done by the BBC.
Excellent.
I think it's on YouTube now.
Interesting. So we've managed to get a couple of chats in between the rain and everything. You've had a problem with your electric bikes and bike batteries, haven't you? What's been going on with bikes? What's been going on with your bikes?
First of all, when we was in France about 6 weeks ago, the wife's battery went on her bike, and fair enough, down where we went in Sevenoaks, they replaced it, no bother at all. And we brought the bikes out on this trip, and my battery went. So anyway, when I phoned up, apparently they've had a bad batch of batteries by their supplier, and that's what I'm waiting for today. So I'm waiting for the battery to arrive today. They came and picked the other battery up yesterday, so let's hope the other battery arrives today, and then we're off to the Lincoln show.
Off to Lincoln show. So just talking about the Lincoln show, the people who were on pitch number 1 earlier, I said I'd mention you as pitch number 1. Fantastic couple. We had a really nice chat this morning in the sunshine, because it never rains here at the nurseries. Never rains in Mumby, in Lincolnshire. They're also going to the Lincoln show. And the people that were here next door on pitch number 8 have just gone to the Lincoln show. And you're going to... You could call yourself the trio.
Well, we could do, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we was all pretty close together. The lad was on the number 8 pitch, and we was on number 9, and we said we'd meet over there. Yeah. But
Actually, there was a certain age. There was a band in the 80s called Trio. A da da da. Do you remember? Do you remember?
Techno music.
I'm sure they were called Trio. A da da da.
Wasn't they on the Eurovision Song Contest?
I've got no idea, but I think they were a French band, and it was like, I'm sure they were called Trio. Da da da. And there was another French band in the 80s, Wham Bam Man Man, what was it called? Wham Bam Man John. There was another French song, and nobody knew the lyrics apart from one word, which is Wham Bam or something. I don't. Oh. You're not going to have a clue what I'm on about, are you? No.
Well, I heard one that's Wham Bam a Ling Long. That was.
Yeah,
that was one in the 60s.
That was 60s. No. I can't remember. Anyway, it's just me going a bit crazy. So yeah, Lincoln show. How long are you at Lincoln show for?
Well, we'll be there till Monday when it finishes.
Okay.
And then we're on our way over to... Well, I'm going to go across the Cat and Fiddle,
right.
which is over Chesterfield way. I'm going to show the wife the Crooked Steeple. It's
still
there,
yeah, it's still there. No, yeah. I know the Cat and Fiddle really well.
And then, well, like I say, I used to use that route a lot with the truck. So we're going to go over there. Might call in at Blue John Mines.
Yeah, I've been down there.
And then back through Stockport and over to my brother's. And then I'm doing a place called Goosener in Preston.
Goosenar, the Working Men's Club.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
that's the mental asylum.
That's me. I'm going in there.
Say hello to Dave. Say hello to Dave. He'll know me. The warden.
Oh
there.
Yes, we know Dave.
Say hello to Dave. Yeah. Oh, we've had we used to put little mini meets on there.
Right.
And one Halloween, there's a graveyard at the back of it. Have you ever seen the graveyard?
Yeah, well, Paula took us in there. A friend of ours called Paula
went
for a midnight walk in the graveyard.
We did it on Halloween. Yeah. And it's... Oops, sorry, I've got an alarm going. Just let me put another alarm on my watch to remind me to do things. It's quite a bizarre grave, but that mental asylum... There are clips on YouTube. I don't know if you've ever seen it. How it used to be. You used to have its own railway station, a railway in there. There's a ballroom in there. Whittingham and Goosenar.
Yeah. That's it. Whittingham and Goosenar. Yeah. Well, I'm doing a gig there.
Oh, right.
I'm playing on the Saturday night.
Oh God.
So I was asked by we have a little camping group, which if on the back of the van you'll see Camping Club UK.
Okay, right. Yeah, I won't do that because your number plate. But yeah, okay.
But that used to be a camping group that we was in. If you look on the top of the van, you'll see Half Niners on tour.
We've got that there. Yeah, got that.
So from that group, from the Camping UK group, we built this Half Niners on tour as well.
All right.
So we're all meeting up because we've not seen each other for a while, and we're all meeting up at Goosener. And they've asked me to bring my gear down because I do everything from playing guitar, singing, and then we'll show a bit of disco and karaoke
What a small
and
world.
things like that. Yeah.
So I remember Dave when he was a warden there, and he only had a little touring caravan. And the last time he'd got a static, I think, and all the rest of it. He'd gone up in the world.
Well, from what our friend was telling us, a lad called Graham, apparently now they've built all new houses round there.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to build a new club.
It's not, as far as I know, no, I've not been for a few years. So the last time we went, to be honest, it was overdevelopment. All the fields all around there was being built on. I'm just trying to think. It must be 5-6 years since I went.
Apparently now all these houses now are all in place. It's a couple of years since we've been.
Yeah.
It must be 4 years since we've been at Goosener. And apparently they're supposed to have built a new club.
Right,
so
I don't know. I'll be interested.
It will be, yeah.
Drop a message on the video and let me know.
I will do, yeah. I'll
tell Dave, I've got him as a friend on Facebook, tell Dave to say hello on Facebook, and yeah,
we'll do.
In that. And also, sorry, what a small world. We've got a few connections here, haven't we? We were talking about Altrincham.
Yeah,
and
I had an auntie that lived in there, and Timperley.
Yeah, and Hale Barnes.
Yeah, and Hale Barnes was the best panel beater I've ever seen in my life. He was an oldish man when I knew him 40 years ago, so I don't know whether he's still around or not, but he could do everything he did was always, he had these little hammers and he used to just he'd be there for hours and he would get it absolutely perfect.
Goodness me.
And he was really good. I used to do the mechanic side of things, and he did all the the bodywork side.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely brilliant at bodywork, and he lived in Hale Barnes, and we went to his house once, and I remember he had 2 American cars in his garage. He had a bungalow with a double garage where he used to do his work, and he used to do a lot of home repairs in there as well. But he was a fantastic bodywork person. But you daren't go near him when he was doing the bodywork. When he got his mind, so you couldn't say hello to him or out like that. Oh, he'd lose
right
his temper.
Into it. Oh goodness me! Right, I'm just going to restart this video. One second. That one can essentially, and we've been having a chat because you're thinking about possibly setting up a YouTube channel as well, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't understand. Well, I'm starting to learn a lot more now. This subscribe bit and coffee money bit and the way things work and thumbs up and bells. I mean, normally I'll just go and watch the video if I like it and kind of shy away from anything else, trying to not get involved.
Yeah.
But I've got myself a little camera now. It's only a cheapy thing, and I've got my phone one. So I've done a few films. I mean, but now I've got to work out how to open up a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What you do, and upload my films and see what happens, see what I get.
So your content, you were saying, is sort of fixing things. Is that what would you say?
I kind of like
creating things. What sort of content are you thinking of?
Well, like I say, I do a lot of stuff on the van myself.
Yeah.
So anything from engines, fixing the engine, doing servicing. I'm now into habitation checks. I've just bought all the gear to do the habitation stuff. And as being a mechanic, you want to do it yourself if you understand what I mean. So that's basically what I want to do. I've YouTube that. Then I've got a little studio that I have at home where I have my guitars and keyboards and
fantastic.
Try and play. But I'm not under it, like I was talking to you about copyrights and music playing in the background and things like that. So I suppose I've got to get into the rules and regulations of all that, because I do a lot of cover songs. I do make my own songs. I have got 2 songs actually on YouTube, but they came on there by accident because they came from, was it MySpace?
MySpace days, yeah.
So I put them out years and years ago on MySpace, and they've worked their way over to YouTube. So if you look up, I think it comes under Cola Cowboy Manchester. I'm not sure.
Oh wow!
So I think I kind of want to get into this, but talking to a camera is
you're a natural.
It's a little bit weird, like.
It's as I always encourage people who are contemplating on setting up a YouTube channel, and you got to, like my channel. I'm my next milestone is going to be 6,000 subs, all being well, by Christmas. Right. 2 years ago, I didn't have anybody, you know, and it can be quite demoralising. You're putting a video up and you're getting 30 watches or 10 watches, and you don't gain. But to me, if you enjoy doing it, if you enjoy creating the content, and 30 people do watch that, that's like half a street watching you.
That's right.
You know, it's like
that's
an
what
entire
you was
pub.
explaining to me the other day. Yeah, that's fantastic.
You know,
Never thought of it that way.
No, so if you went into a pub and to sing a song and 30 people sat in front of you, 30 people started clapping, you'd be
well, you'd be over the moon.
Yeah. So that's you know, so never take any notice of stats and numbers. With copyright, if it's your own cover music, you'll be all right. The main problem you've got is if your channel ever grows and you're what's called monotonised, so you can start earning money. If you're in a pub or a bar or a fairground, you've got to listen out for
the background music.
Yeah, because of copyright strikes. But until you reach that stage.
Talking of copyright, I don't know how true this is. If the copyright is over a certain age, the only reason why I know this is I remember Cliff Richard, because he's a long survivor now.
Yeah.
And he wanted the copyright to be extended, and I do believe it either only lasts for a certain amount of years, or if the person's died, then the copyright becomes empty. I'm not exactly. So to me, it's a bit of a minefield.
No, but you get some, excuse the language, some cheeky twats out there. So I very rarely put music on my videos. I find it super annoying when you're watching a vlog and there's background music. But occasionally I do use some copyright-free background music, and I've had copyright claims of people who are just trying to earn money off somebody else's money, and then you have to go through a dispute with YouTube, and it's not scary, that's not the word I'm looking for, but you've got to go through a legal process. And so far I've always got my money back that I'm owed. But we even had one, it was Sandra's mum's 90th last year, somebody was doing a piece on a violin, and we got a copyright strike for this piece of Italian music from 1860.
Wow.
Or whenever it was, some classic. But I then put a counterclaim in going, it's the cover version. Anyway, it took 2 months, but we did get it back.
You got it,
so you do have to be careful.
So when you do a blog now like this, is your blog copyrighted?
So technically speaking, yeah, I'm the content creator, so nobody should pinch any of this content. Unfortunately, people do. And there's not a lot you can do. There's a guy called Andrew Ditton, I don't know whether you follow him, and he had some footage, I can't remember, it was an electric car or something, a year or two ago, and a big company just went and nicked his footage and started putting it onto adverts without, they didn't even tell him.
Oh, right.
But most of the time, if somebody wants any of my content, they do normally contact you and ask you it's okay to use. I've had quite a few clips.
So do you have to sign anything for that then?
Sometimes you do.
If they contact you and say, can I use this certain bit?
Yeah, so I'll tell you a story. So some of you don't know, and this was, it's 2 Christmases or 3 Christmases ago. I did a video outside my house at Christmas of, you get the inflatable Santas and all that.
Santas and that.
And I did a really quirky video of them deflating, and they looked like they were drunk, and they all and I was within a whisker of Ford in America using that on a Ford advert, on their Christmas advert, and we had all legal papers were all being signed. So quite a few bob would have exchanged, and it got dropped, unfortunately. But people do watch those videos. I've got some badger footages on in Cornwall. I think Channel 5 there's a badger programme coming up. I've had all sorts, weather stuff, all sorts. But generally people, especially TV companies, will ask you.
Yeah.
So
they must. So they know that they've. And do you know that they've took it? Unless you see the advert.
So if it ends up on a paid-for advert, I would actually take a legal action on that one.
Well, you wouldn't know if somebody come on your channel and taken that piece of
information. So something super annoying. So with OMD, this band, I transcribed years ago lots of VHS video stuff. Back then it was a real long process, and getting it on YouTube, this way ahead of the game. And then the amount of people that have stolen my work, it's not my work because I didn't create it, because it's on a videotape, if that makes any sense. And even to the extent I ended up putting little it's something called Motion and Heart, little logos on videos, and the amount of my work with my logos that are
Yeah.
on other people's channels, and I know it's mine because it's got my flaming logo on it.
Right.
So you'll see me sometimes doing product reviews where I now put a logo up on the screen, and that's so if the product review company starts to use my video as an advert,
Your logo goes with it.
my logo goes with it.
Because that's when I write a song, and like I said, mine was last time I did a lot like that. I was putting it up on MySpace, but that used to have a date on it.
Yeah.
So if anybody tried to come forward of that date, then if they can't prove that that was their song, because I do remember back in, I was only 1957, and I was just born. And do you remember Diana and Teenager in Love?
Yeah, of course I do. Yeah.
Right. Well, them two songs went to court,
Right.
and there was a massive battle over it because it was the same chord work.
Oh God.
And I think the outcome was it was slightly different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there was no claim. But when I played a song on the guitar or I play the two songs on the keyboards,
Yeah.
it's the exact same chords all the way through. So about 1957 there was a big court case about it.
I think, yeah, and I'll tell you a true story. I think Happy Birthday, somebody copyrighted Happy Birthday to You.
Yeah.
Somebody actually put a copyright in on that as copyright creation. Right, listen, we've got a very long video. In fact, we've probably got enough video for an entire vlog with our little chat there. It's been wonderful to have you and your, I'm assuming it's the wife.
Yep,
Is it? And the wife and obviously the doggy with us. And
Lola.
yeah, absolutely fantastic. And hope your battery turns up and have an amazing
like
Lincoln
I said,
show.
A great site. You know, you see snippets of it on your YouTube channel, but to be here and see everything, it's great, and I think you do a great job here, Neil. And it's been fantastic meeting you in the flesh, as they say.
Well, I was going to get my chainsaw out this afternoon and fire it up for the first time. I've got new electric, the grass is too wet, and knowing me, I'll put it down, I'll electrocute myself. And
I thought you fell out with Dan.
No, oh yeah, well he could be off. No, in fact, I might wait for him to come back and really annoy him with the chainsaw in the back. Right, let me carry on going. Right, sorry, that's a wonderful chat. Absolutely belting guy with lots of stories to tell. I'm going to get myself something to eat. So still a lot of puzzles and do a few bits and bobs, but I'll probably, to be fair, because of that long chat, wrap this video off right here. And yeah, come and join us at the nurseries where it never rains, but it sometimes does, being truthful. Catch you very shortly.